Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book The Stiehl Assassin, the third book in the Fall of Shannara tetralogy. Yes, this is the third book in the tetralogy, so it's the penultimate book in the tetralogy. And not only that, it's the penultimate Shannara novel. Yes, the Shannara series is coming to a close with the Fall of Shannara. We had the first book, The Black Elfstone, which I enjoyed. I thought was pretty good. And then we had the Scar Invasion, which I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was superb. And then we had the third book, The Stiehl Assassin, which really stepped it up. Each book here has stepped it up, and a lot of the problems that I have had with more recent Terry Brooks books have started to go away in this series. I think they were a little bit present in the first book, and then he started moving back to his classic style of storytelling, which I really appreciated. And the pieces seem to be falling into place in this book. You can really see how he's building towards a big finale here. And in one way that you're building towards the finale is he's moving the characters and the plot lines to what's going to be an epic finish, but he's also giving us some emotional payoffs that the audience really needs. And so I really appreciate the way that he's taking his time here. Each book is getting longer because he realizes this is his last outing and he may as well go out with a bang. And so in this book, it's the longest so far, although the next book takes the cake for length of this series. And Terry Brooks really takes his time to flesh out the characters, flesh out the plot lines, and it's really hard to talk about this without spoilers, so I'm going to try to be careful. But each book has had kind of connections and things that have kind of been similar or different from other Shannara books. This one is the most like the Voyage of Stiehl Shannara trilogy. I would say that's the biggest influence on this book. However, I think that there are influences to many of the other Shannara books, including the High Druid trilogy. That was really influential, I think. I think that the first King of Shannara was a little bit influential here. I think that the whole Heritage series was influential. So really, there's a ton of influences on this book. But Terry Brooks is doing a great job of putting the characters where they need to be. And he basically splits up the main cast partway through the book, and you have Drisker Ark, the last druid, really, along with his apprentice, and her brother, Tarsha, and her brother Tavo. And they go off in one direction. And then you have the rest of the party ends up going in another direction to solve another problem. And I really like the way that they go about trying to solve the problems. And we get, without spoiling too much, we get a return to the Hadeshorn, which if you've read the previous Shannara novels, you know what the Hadeshorn is. And so you know there's some cool characters that can show up from the past in there. And then also there's some great recurring locations and some great themes that come back from previous books. So in almost every way, I'm just really enjoying this book. It's in series. It's really hard to go without spoilers. So I'm gonna do a quick spoiler thing here. So if you have not read the book and don't want to get the spoilers, tap out here. Just know that I love the book, but this is your warning. But when they revealed that they have the weather machine and that the weather machine could be used to stop the problem in Eurodia, or which is basically Europe, and so what the main characters do is they decide to get the machine onto the ships, and they're going to ship it out to Eurodia and to try to solve the problem there so that they don't bring their whole population to the Four Lands. I thought that was a brilliant use of this machine that's been established, and a brilliant way to try to solve the problem without just having more war. And then the war stuff, the war scenes in here were really thin, and I realized as I was reading this book that Terry Brooks thrives not on the big epic war battles, but on the action of a few members of a party against a big monster. That's more his strength. And so the action scenes that were more character-based and smaller in scale actually work a lot better, and he uses them more often because I think Terry Brooks knows that's his strong suit. In none of the Shannara books has the epic war nature of storytelling really been at the forefront. It's never been the strong suit. It's always been the small character battles. And so while the big war stuff is present, that's happening in this book, and we get a little bit with the dwarves here, I did enjoy those smaller battles here. And I liked the way that he's slowly bringing Tavo back to sanity, and you're slowly seeing him working along with Tarsha. And we also see Clizia Porsche. She is just an awful, awful woman. And I really enjoyed seeing the way that Tarsha interacted with Clizia in this book, and the way that he basically just lays into her when he sees her again is just really entertaining. I also loved the political stuff when the leader of Eurodia shows up, and of the Scars, leader of the Scars, when he shows up and basically gives it to his daughter and is like telling her off, and then she's like, no, I'm right, you just can't see it yet, and then she's sent off. I loved all the political stuff that was happening there. And then when her ship crashes, I was like, of course, we have to have her with our main party. That has to happen. She has to be with Dar Lee because of their little romantic thing going on. So it was really clever. I was like, that's how you got them together. That's how you were able to do it, because they had to be together in this book. They had to get together in some way. So that was really really cute. But that's my review of The Fall of Shannara, The Stiehl Assassin, the third and penultimate book in the Fall series, and the penultimate book in the Shannara series. I've got one more book, The Last Druid. I will be reading that in the next month or so. I am very excited. And then I will have read the entire Shannara series. Technically, the Word and Void series with Running with the Demon and Night of the Word and the Angel Fire East, technically that trilogy has been retroactively included in the Shannara series, and I haven't read that yet. So technically there are Shannara books I haven't read yet, but I'm not necessarily counting those. Of the 30 actual Shannara novels, I only have one left, and that's The Last Druid, the final book in the Fall series. So I'm really excited to read that. I'd give this one a 9.1 out of 10, really solid. Really loved this book. So if you've read this book, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.